Lurking in the woods of the Ozarks is the world's most daring wooden roller coaster. Outlaw Run at Silver Dollar City in Branson, Missouri opened in 2013. Enthusiasts went crazy seeing this new creation from Rocky Mountain Construction come to life, featuring never-before-seen elements on wooden coasters such as the 153-degree overbank inversion, wave turn, and double barrel roll finale. Thrill seekers around the world flocked to Silver Dollar City to try this one amazing coaster. Once it opened, many of its riders praised this coaster, saying it was the best wooden coaster of all time. But does this coaster live up to the hype? Find out in our in-depth review of Outlaw Run at Silver Dollar City. Hey everyone, this is Cully Hale Benz from Destination Thrills, and today I'm here to review the one, the only Outlaw Run at Silver Dollar City. Outlaw Run stands at 107 feet tall, but because of its hilly terrain, it features an impressive 162-foot drop. This coaster reaches a top speed of 68 miles per hour and has a track length of 2,937 feet. This coaster has a total of 3 inversions and several hills, providing significant airtime. Now, it wasn't until 2017 that I was able to make it down to Branson to try out this wild wooden coaster. And fun fact, Outlaw Run was the first Rocky Mountain Construction coaster that I got to ride, so I really had no clue what I was getting into. Many enthusiasts have praised this coaster, and around the time it opened, several said that it was the best wooden coaster ever built. Rocky Mountain Construction, also known as RMC, was now famous for all of their wicked creations, so needless to say, I was hyped for my first RMC coaster. Would Outlaw Run live up to the hype? Well, let's go over the ride experience. First of all, Outlaw Run is very well themed. The station is a giant saloon-looking structure with strong Wild West vibes. As you get into the train, you will notice that the space is fairly tight, so if you are a larger guest, I highly recommend using the test seat out front before waiting in line. Once your restraints are locked, you will hear the crack of a whip and a yah over the speaker before you gallop onto the lift hill. The chain lift is ridiculously loud, so good luck trying to have a conversation with your riding buddy. Once you reach the top, you get a fantastic view of the Ozarks. I recommend getting a ride at around sunset because the sights are magical. Now your attention will quickly divert back to the track ahead as you hop down the pre-drop before starting that 162-foot plunge. This first drop has tons of floater air because of its 81-degree angle. It seriously looks like you're plummeting straight down. The lift off the seat is incredible, especially in the back row, and the way the cars are designed, there really is nothing to grab onto. Like, there is no oh crap handlebars on this ride, so you just have to yell loud and raise your hands because this is just the beginning. At the bottom of this drop, you will experience some strong positive G-forces. Beware that at this moment, your lap bar will want to staple you. So I suggest not getting stuck in any uncomfortable positions at this moment. If you are a guy, trust me on this one. After this incredible drop, you speed along through the trees into a 153-degree overbank stall inversion thingy, whatever it's called. I remember watching them construct this element thinking, how is that going to work? I expected it to be the craziest moment, but honestly, the element is pretty tame. You go weightless and float upside down for a brief moment before snapping out of it down into the 180-degree helix. In my opinion, the most forceful moment of this element is the G-forces in the helix right after this inversion. Now, following the stall and the helix is a fantastic moment of airtime on a twisted hill. You come into the element banking and turning left, and then at the peak of this hill, you quickly shift and bank to your right. Storm Chaser has an element very similar to this, and it is glorious. And before you know it, you are into the next element, which is a double up. This double up features a great moment of ejector air, and then you're quickly into the overbank turn under the lift structure. This is surprisingly one of my favorite moments of the ride, and here's why. As you are banking hard, the structure blocks the view of what is at the end of this turn. My first ride was toward the back of the train, and this is the best spot for this element. As you begin to feel the G-forces of the overbank, it feels like someone flips a switch and it releases you out of your seat. And what you thought was an overbank turns out to be a negative G drop. This caught me completely off guard on my first ride, and I absolutely love it. After this is a wave turn, which is basically an airtime hill that's banked at 90 degrees, which causes some sideways floater airtime. Now this is a fun, weird sensation, but I wouldn't say it is intense. If you compare this wave turn to the ones on Lightning Rod, I would say that Lightning Rod's wave turns provide more thrill. Now the cool part about the wave turn on Outlaw Run was riding it this year. The trees had grown really close to the track, and it almost seemed like you could reach out and touch the branches while you were sideways. So that moment was kind of neat, but anyways, after you come down the wave turn, you hit a speed bump. The airtime is short because of the speed in which you hit this hill, but this is probably the strongest moment of ejector air on the ride. Next, you hit the double barrel roll finale. What you don't notice about this double barrel roll element from the POVs is that the element is ascending the whole time. So you start the inversions with a lot of speed, but as you get to the end, you feel as if you are crawling out of the roll. This moment is filled with great hang time, and I would say it is my favorite moment of the entire layout. Now during the daytime, Outlaw Run's layout is fantastic, but at night, this coaster is on level with some of the greats. When I say you can't see a thing, I mean literally. When you are at the top of the first drop, all you can see is black below you. And from then on, it's like riding the coaster with a blindfold. A full moon can illuminate some areas of the track, but even then the dense woods that the coaster travels through eliminates all light. It is truly a terrifying experience and something I highly recommend checking out. Alright, so let's move on and talk about my ratings of Outlaw Run. If this is your first time watching one of my reviews, I will be rating Outlaw Run in 5 specific categories: intensity, fun, uniqueness, comfort, and duration. Then I will give my overall rating of this ride. The rating scale I will be using is from 0, terrible, to 5, amazing. Alright, so let's start out with intensity. The G-forces, airtime, and pacing are all strong. From the first drop to the barrel roll, the ride just flies. Every time I see the train get back to the station, the faces of the riders are all in shock. And even after 50 rides on this coaster, I still get that same feeling. Every element feels sudden, and this just adds to the intensity. So needless to say, Outlaw Run is intense and deserves a perfect score of 5 out of 5. Moving on to fun, there are a lot of fun elements. The wave turn, the first drop, and the double barrel roll bring a lot of joy. There is such a variety of elements, so the layout never seems repetitive. And because it is in the woods, that feeling of speed amps up as the trees and branches come zipping past you. Outlaw Run is a very fun ride and deserves a 4.5 out of 5 rating. Moving on to uniqueness, Outlaw Run provides a lot of maneuvers and experiences that other RMCs offer. However, it is the setting that sets this coaster apart. The Branson terrain cannot be mimicked at other parks and provides a whole new level of experience that you cannot find on coasters such as Steel Vengeance or Goliath. The only other RMC I have been on that might use the terrain a little bit better is Lightning Rod at Dollywood, but honestly the layouts of Lightning Rod and Outlaw Run are very different. So I will say that Outlaw Run gets a 4 out of 5 for uniqueness. Next is comfort. Outlaw Run does throw you around a lot, and the track has gotten rougher over the years. I wouldn't say it's Voyage or Boss rough, but very similar to Lightning Rod's shaky sensation at the bottom of the quad down, which honestly is a lot smoother than most wooden coasters. What is nice is that the ride uses lap bars, so you feel very open and free from the waist up. So there are some good and some bad factors when discussing Outlaw Run's comfort level, so I'm giving Outlaw Run a 3.5 for comfort. Now let's discuss duration. Outlaw Run only uses 2,937 feet of track, and with that intense pacing, the ride feels like it is over with fairly quickly. That is the only knock I have on this ride. I feel like it is 2 elements away from being a world-class coaster, and mentioned among the great wooden coasters like the Voyage and El Toro. RMC and Silver Dollar City were able to pack in a lot of airtime hills, and inversions into the small footprint. However, I just feel like it is missing one more section of track, so duration I will give a 2 out of 5 rating. Now, overall, Outlaw Run is amazing. It is short, but what it does in that short amount of time is mind-blowing. Honestly, it's the pacing that makes up for it. There is no element that is done slowly. The only section where it starts to lighten up on the momentum is the ending of the double barrel roll, and that is the moment where you want the speed to let up so you can have that extra millisecond of hang time. I absolutely love the variety of thrills, and the execution is dang near perfect. This is why I give Outlaw Run a 4.5 out of 5 rating overall. So, did Outlaw Run live up to the hype it received? Absolutely. In fact, I think the night ride doesn't get enough hype. At night, Outlaw Run is a number 2 for me behind the Voyage, and overall, it is a top 10 coaster for me. Now, it is ranked 4th out of the 5 RMCs I have ridden, but this is no knock to Outlaw Run. That is just how good RMC coasters are. So this is my review of Outlaw Run at Silver Dollar City. Now, I want to hear your thoughts on this wild wooden coaster. Let me know your rating of Outlaw Run in the comments below. Now, if you enjoyed this coaster review, I actually have a bunch more of them on my channel. I've reviewed coasters like the Voyage, Lightning Rod, and Steel Vengeance, so I will leave my playlist of coaster reviews in the description below. And as always, be sure to like this video if you liked it, and subscribe to Destination Thrills, the destination for all the latest theme park news and content. I am Cullah Hale. Thank you for watching, and have a good one.